Good morning and happy Thursday. Good to see you guys. August 3rd. And this year is flying by. I don't know about you guys, but that's how I feel. What's going on? Let's see who's in the chat. Mr. Leo Lustig, good to see you. We have Duke Nukem in the chat. Good to see you as well. Integra Guy, David. Let's see. Nerd Beast, my man. UK Miners Club, no max voltage this morning. I am disappointed. Just kidding. Overboard Tech, good to see you, buddy. Nerd Beast, Crypto Frank, my man, good to see you as well. And Dave's FinTech channel, good to see you. If I missed anybody, I apologize, but good to see you all. I know there's a few of you lurking that haven't talked yet, but good morning. Good morning. All right, so we're gonna talk about Bitcoin, the spot Bitcoin ETF, which is now, I guess, as of, was it yesterday maybe, or the day before? It was I guess has a 65% approval rate, which is pretty sweet. Michael Saylor actually does an interview on CNBC and he talks about that a little bit. And then he kind of, the way he explains Bitcoin is pretty interesting. So that's yeah, needless to say. Let's see, Mr. Steven Cicero, good to see you, buddy. If you guys have any questions, obviously feel free to add me in the chat. Let's check out the crypto market today and then we'll get into everything else. 29,100. Man, Bitcoin took a 1.44% little shit. Ethereum, we have 1834. We have, let's see, Litecoin, the halving is complete. That's also another topic. We're going to check out the L7. I want to see what my profits would be on that thing. And congratulations to Mr. Diesel, the VIP that won the hash rate. So he had it for 24 hours. And yeah, I actually just stopped it right before we went live. So congrats to you, sir. LTC, 86 bucks. We have Doge, 7 cents. Hopefully, I mean, as of right now, like everything's red. So I'm assuming should get a little better. Hopefully anyways, right? All right, let's check out crypto bubbles. Let's see. Earner. Oh, look at this. So almost split in half. Hex and Pulse because of this whole, what's his name? Is it, God, I can't remember his name. Why can't I remember that guy's name? Whatever, the Hexagon, whatever the hell he calls himself over there. Anyways, on the day, this thing's Pulse is up 31.8%, and then we have the Hex 5.3% is up. But yeah, I don't know, that took quite the dump the other day. We have Caspa up 5.9%. Caspa hit a new all-time high, by the way. Yesterday it was over 4.5 cents, almost 5 cents. Look at this. It was 4.84, I guess. Let's check out, you know what, I'm gonna go to CoinGecko quick because I want to see. I totally forgot that Caspa actually hit an all-time high yesterday. Let's see. So it's up 6.3% according to this. It's almost 4.5 cents. Let's see. Skip past it right here. Yeah, so 4.8 all-time high. Crazy, right? Crazy. 7 hours ago. Wild. Absolutely wild. So congrats to anybody that's holding Caspa. Anyways, all right, let's go over the top 10 coins quick, then we'll check out the Fear and Greed Index. We have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, XRP, USD coin, Lido Staked Ether, Cardano. I just noticed XRP and USD coin swapped each other. We have Dogecoin and then Solana in 10th. Litecoin still in 12th. Interesting. Very, very interesting, actually. Kind of shocked about that, not gonna lie. I thought it was gonna take a peg down. All right, Fear and Greed, we have 52. Neutral, been the same forever. All right, without further ado, let's get into this. This is Crypto World. Over here we have CNBC does Crypto World every day. We watch it the next day. It's still relevant at this point. GameStop shut down the crypto wallet, citing regulatory uncertainty, and then more or less just news all around. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. Yes, Richard Hart, that's his name. You know what, I couldn't get Kevin Hart out of my brain when I heard Hart. I knew the Hart was the last name, but I couldn't get Kevin out of my brain. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. All right, let's do it. Crypto World, let's see what they got to say. Shout out to CNBC. Links down in the description below if you guys are interested. Hit that like button, guys. Appreciate you for hanging out. Let's do it.
Today, GameStop drops its crypto wallet because of regulatory uncertainty.
Real quick, I didn't even know GameStop had a crypto wallet. I don't know about you guys, but let me know if you did or in the chat or not.
MicroStrategy reveals it bought thousands more Bitcoin in the second quarter. And John Wu, president of Ava Labs, weighs in on the privacy concerns associated with WorldCoin.
Let's see what they got today.
Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Kate Rooney. Digital currencies rebounding from yesterday's losses. By noon Eastern, Bitcoin jumped back above $29,000. Ether, meanwhile, traded above $1,840, while Ripple's XRP traded at 69 cents. Okay, let's talk about some of the top stories. MicroStrategy is holding more and more Bitcoin. In its second quarter earnings report, the company announced it had bought more than 12,000 Bitcoin. By the end of July, held about $4.5 billion worth. That's
$4.5 billion worth by the end of July. Jeez. I'm going to put a poll in the chat. I want to know if you guys are buying Bitcoin right now.
Current prices. The company's chairman, Michael Saylor, joined CNBC's Squawk on the Street this morning to discuss the company's commitment to Bitcoin despite the headwinds for the broader crypto market in recent months.
Bitcoin itself is up 145% since we started buying Bitcoin. And that Bitcoin position creates the volatility in the stock that allows us to borrow and raise capital cheaply in order to buy more Bitcoin and grow the business. Bitcoin is emerging as the safe haven institutional asset if you want to play this space without trying to parse through the politics, the legal, and the regulatory complexity.
Next up, GameStop is giving up on its native crypto wallet. The retailer announced on the wallet's website that due to regulatory uncertainty, support for GameStop Wallet will end on November 1st. That's when the iOS and Chrome extensions will be removed from the market. GameStop originally jumped into the crypto wallet game in May of 2022, seemingly as a way to capitalize on both the meme stock craze that sent its stock soaring in 2021 and the crypto craze that drove digital asset prices to all-time highs. Last up, Ripple just released its latest transparency report, and the company's CEO took the chance to hit back at the SEC. In a post on Wednesday, Brad Garlinghouse said, quote, "We began these reports to voluntarily provide updates given our XRP holdings. Sadly, they were used against us in the SEC lawsuit." He went on to say that the reports could look a bit different going forward. This latest report shows the total amount of XRP held by Ripple grew by more than 44 million, while just under 42 billion tokens remain in escrow to be released at a later date. All right, let's talk a little bit about WorldCoin for today's main story. The scrutiny around Sam Altman's eye scanning tech is growing, with Kenya now suspending the project over safety concerns. Crypto World's Talia Kaplan spoke to John Wu of Ava Labs about WorldCoin. He also gave his insight on the Curve Finance hack and explained Avalanche's latest program focused on tokenization.
Yeah, so apparently WorldCoin was suspended in Kenya for whatever reason. I don't know if they were doing like the whole COVID shot thing where they were like giving you incentives to go scan your eye, where they would, bust out money or give you a check or a prize or some bullshit. I don't know what was going on there, but it seemed a bit like that. That's the vibe I got anyways. Mr. Condibits, thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate the 20 DKK. Important question. How many apples?
Important Q. How many apples grow on trees?
As many as that can fit, I guess. Is that how you would say that? I don't even know. How many apples grow on trees? You guys ask. All the apples grow on trees. Shut up, Condibits. Leave me alone. Such a troll, goddammit.
WorldCoin, the crypto project created by OpenAI's Sam Altman, went live last week and is already facing some criticism over the project's digital identity service. And some regulators overseas are now investigating the project. What do you make of this new crypto project and the privacy concerns associated with it?
I mean, there's two things. There's so many things going on with it. Having privacy, digital identity, and having it to yourself, self-sovereign, meaning like self-custody, is a big theme in all of the world, not just in Web3. I think some of the criticism surrounding this is related to how the token was sold, and it was done overseas. So there's a lot of issues surrounding the mechanism of it in terms of how the technology works, as well as how the transaction was executed, especially in geographies overseas. But the concept of providing everyone with some sort of privacy, some sort of identity that they can actually own and use to their own disposal, I don't think there are any issues with philosophically what it's trying to do.
What do you think about the increased interest in AI and the fusion of AI and crypto? I mean, I saw that back in June, Ava Labs actually announced the launch of Ava GPT as blockchain companies have been trying to incorporate the technology. What prompted Ava Labs to create Ava GPT? Did the heightened
Well,
interest in AI have anything to do with it?
well, thank you very much for asking that question. Yes, we did do that. And obviously, it's
Real quick, when he said thank you very much for asking that question, it seems like he got the questions prior. I hate when like they pretend to not know the question.
segues well from WorldCoin. Sam Altman obviously is one of the founders of OpenAI. I think AI, everyone's learned, not just Ava Labs or other crypto, and everyone from various industries learned that AI can help you make better, faster decisions, and it can help you basically save money in terms of streamlining the supply chain of whatever you're doing, cutting out middlemen as well, and allowing you to do it faster and cheaper and more efficiently. So the things that Ava Labs have done with AI are one, allow the developer material openly so that AI can search it properly so that developers can have better and speedier ways to deploy on the Avalanche blockchain. Also, we use AI for tools, whether it be like DALI or others to help us design better and faster. So frankly, AI helps all industries, and Web3 is no different. I think what's interesting about what blockchain can do and to help the growth of AI is the provenance in the data. So, AI and algorithms are only as good as the data. And if blockchain could be the provenance, distributed ledger, and the provenance of that data, maybe the AI will be, hopefully the algorithms will work better. Also, algorithms need to be tracked with which one is good and which one does what it says. So, using the blockchain to help track those algorithms and create a marketplace for that are other projects that people are doing with AI. And frankly, I think there's a lot of news recently, unfortunately, that we're seeing since the weekend to now. AI can also help blockchain by auditing code faster or better so that there's fewer hacks in the space.
Just this week, we learned
Real quick, Patrick Murphy, that was hysterical. He said it looks like her eyebrows went to war with his and he lost hard. I genuinely, I would have spit my coffee out if I had anything. If I was in the middle of drinking, that was so funny.
that DeFi exchange Curve Finance was hacked, potentially leading to the price of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to drop as crypto sentiment had been compromised. The platform tweeted over the weekend that hackers used a bug in Curve's underlying code to trick smart contracts, allowing them to drain a number of liquidity pools. It's important to note that according to Chainalysis, crypto hacks have actually slowed in the first half of this year thanks to low liquidity. But what do you make of this recent hack, and what do you think can be done to prevent something like this from happening on other platforms?
First of all, it's very unfortunate, and I feel for the retail people who lost money here. It's not good. Listen, what's happened mechanically and what's going on has been well reported. But what I think with this situation, big picture wise, obviously it's very bad for the space from an asset class perspective. There is a lot of people affected from this, and because the space is very self-referential, whatever happens in the curve pool and people losing money there and triggering stops or whatever will lead to other areas of DeFi, and it could cause a cascade effect. Not that different, frankly, from what we see in traditional finance when a big hedge fund or a big bank, and this is why they say too big to fail, it can lead to a cascade effect elsewhere. So that possibly could happen from an asset perspective. But also there are some things that we need to address from a fundamental perspective. The space really needs to do four things, I think, in my opinion, at least three out of the four. One, the space really, I think, needs to realize that the code in the smart contract needs to be better audited. So either perhaps, third party oversight, or we talked about it earlier, infusing AI technology to better audit the code. The space also really needs to remove, I think number one, needs to remove bad actors. And I think good news is that is starting to happen. We've got MiCA framework in Europe. Asia is doing a lot. The US is, especially, recently, we've seen a lot of movement in Congress trying to.
There's always going to be bad actors, though. We can't catch everybody.
Push bills through to identify or classify assets and talk about how things are sold properly. And that is all going to help remove the bad actors. 3, I think there should be some sort of standardization for issuing tokens so that when there's standards, it's the issuing of these tokens becomes, I don't want to say regulated, but has a protocol for doing good instead of bad. And lastly, I think very important, we need education for the retail in this space. It's no different from how now grandmothers out there know not to give out their personal PII information on the phone to a stranger. There needs to be an education process for retail people. These 4 things have to happen going forward for this space to grow.
Last week, the Avalanche Foundation launched a new initiative focused on asset tokenization. The program, called Avalanche Vista, aims to demonstrate the value of tokenizing real-world assets like real estate and commodities. Can you take us through how this works and what was the driving factor behind this initiative?
Yeah, well, tokenization, Avalanche's tokenization is one, if not the killer app for the blockchain. Tokenization, just to reiterate, is, the simplest definition is to basically transfer the right of ownership of something or a cash flow stream or an asset and transfer that right digitally onto a blockchain. So it becomes immutable and has transparency, and so everyone can see that transaction. And doing this way has so many benefits. It makes it easier to issue, to own, and to transfer those assets. Now, when you tokenize, generally speaking, on the highest level, you have 3 major benefits. 1, it's far more efficient a process than how it's done traditionally. 2, it also could create more access to individuals and to other players around the world that could not get access to the same asset. And lastly, we're all hoping that one day it will create more liquidity for these private or hard to find assets. I think this program was done by the foundation because they see that we need to jumpstart the liquidity benefits of the space.
Interesting.
Who went into greater detail on that new initiative and weighed in on recent regulatory developments in the U.S. You can check out this full interview on CNBC.com.
Go check it out, guys, if you're interested. Shout out to CNBC Crypto World. All right, let's hear what Mr. Michael Saylor has to say. MicroStrategies, Michael Saylor. We are glad we adopted Bitcoin. So again, they purchased an absurd amount of Bitcoin in July, apparently. So yeah, I want to hear what he has to say about this. But apparently, again, 65% approval rate of the spot Bitcoin ETF, which is super exciting, and it honestly makes me want to go FOMO into more. But I don't know. I want it to drop a little bit further before. All right, let's get into it.
MicroStrategy, the largest publicly traded holder of Bitcoin, returning to profitability. This after taking an impairment charge of nearly $1 billion last year. EPS exceeded estimates but missed revenue expectations, adding more Bitcoin to its balance sheet, which now totals 152,333 Bitcoins. Joining us now, MicroStrategy Executive Chairman Michael Saylor.
Hold on. How many did they just say? 333?
Totals 152,333 Bitcoins. Joining us now,
152,333 Bitcoin. Holy shit.
Strategy Executive Chairman Michael Saylor. Michael, great to have you on the show. Speak with you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So when it comes to MicroStrategy, you really have this dual strategy. It's both an operating company focused on business intelligence and what some analysts would call a modestly leveraged investment play on Bitcoin. Does the marriage continue to be worth more than the sum of the parts?
Yeah, absolutely. The operating company provides diversification for investors versus the volatility of Bitcoin, and it also allows us to borrow money very cheaply. Our blended cost of capital is like 1.5%, and we're able to invest that money into Bitcoin And on the other hand, our Bitcoin investment is Bitcoin itself is up 145% since we started buying Bitcoin. And that Bitcoin position creates the volatility in the stock that allows us to borrow and raise capital cheaply in order to buy more Bitcoin and grow the business.
Now, I know you retired one loan earlier, I guess, last quarter, and brought your leverage down. When I hear you talking about being able to borrow cheaply, are you doing that right now?
No, we're not borrowing right now, but we go through successive cycles of leveraging and deleveraging. We've been deleveraging now, and generally our decision about whether or not we leverage or deleverage is a function of the market opportunity and what we think is most accretive for our shareholders.
Okay. So in terms of this rally we have seen in Bitcoin, what do you attribute it to, especially on a day where we've seen other folks who are invested in the asset class say soft landing is really what the rally is contingent upon?
Well, really, there's a growing consensus that Bitcoin is a unique and valuable international asset, and that's being endorsed by politicians. It's being endorsed by regulators. It's being endorsed by investors. You're hearing money managers like Larry Fink say this. And that has created a change in sentiment. The odds of spot ETF being approved were 1% 6 months ago. Then they went to 50%, and this morning they were 65%, according to Bloomberg analysts. So that's really driving the near-term sentiment. But plus the fact that there's so much chaos in the crypto industry, Bitcoin is emerging as the safe haven institutional asset if you want to play this space without trying to parse through the politics, the legal, and the regulatory complexity.
Real quick, so Sun God in the chat has questions about Bitcoin and its price and the bear market and stuff. So like every stock markets and stuff go through a bear cycle and a bull cycle, right? It can't go up continuously. It can't go down continuously. It needs to level out, right? So you're always going to have these swings, but Bitcoin has larger swings up and down, right? Because it's so it's not regulated, right, by the government, which they're trying to approve, and it's also not easy for mainstream people to purchase, right? So again, there is like 8 billion people. 8 billion people in the world. There's 21 million Bitcoin ever be created on the planet. So not everybody can physically own one Bitcoin, right? You're only going to be able to own like pieces of a Bitcoin, or if you get in early, you can purchase a whole Bitcoin. You can hold a whole Bitcoin, then you're in like top whatever percentage of the world ever being able to own that much Bitcoin. So it's one of those things. It's got to go through a cycle. It's not like, it's a magic number. It's really by supply and demand. That's what causes the price to go up. And with all this good Bitcoin ETF news, things like that, allowing mainstream investors to come in and just drop money on Bitcoin and acquire it super simple through BlackRock or Fidelity or whoever, it's one of those things that personally I think it's going to make Bitcoin explode. But that's just my opinion. You guys let me know what you think about it, but that's kind of it in a nutshell, if it makes sense. I don't know, it's a lot to take in for somebody that's brand new. So just I would, if I were you, I would just start searching Bitcoin. Watch everything you can and just absorb it like a sponge. Best advice I can give you. Would
a spot Bitcoin ETF be good news because it's a tide that lifts all boats in terms of the price of Bitcoin and thus the price of MicroStrategy shares? Or is so
listen to this right here. Like the question she's asking them. That's a great question.
It's something that could actually dent your investor base, as you see some folks that are invested in MicroStrategy specifically to have a liquid option in Bitcoin shift there.
Well, I think a spot ETF is great news for the space. Bitcoin, you could think of as this beautiful house in a scary neighborhood that you have to pay for in cash, takes a year to buy, and you can never rent it. The spot ETF is like that same beautiful house in a nice neighborhood, and you can buy it tomorrow, no money down, and you can rent it and refinance it from your bank. It's not a threat to MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is like that beautiful house with 10,000 acres of ranch land behind it that generates cash flow, that has a management team that can borrow money at 1-2% interest in order to develop the land. So we offer yield and we offer leverage through active management, which is unique for a set of our investors. We obviously don't have room in our capital structure for tens of billions of dollars of sovereign wealth or major hedge funds, so they need a spot ETF in order to take a position in the space.
Michael, I know that in talking about the price performance of Bitcoin, your time frame is going to basically determine whether it's done amazingly well or has been disappointing. But if you go back 3 years, it's about where the price was in dollar terms 3 years ago. In the meantime, we've had, the most inflation in 4 decades. We now have a lot of questions about the size of the fiscal burdens of the United States. And also, as you mentioned, Bitcoin has emerged as kind of the survivor and the original digital asset of this type. In other words, it's kind of seemed to have created some distance against other tokens. In that context, are you disappointed that we're still at 30,000, or does it matter what the dollar price is today?
No, I think looking back 3 years is very clarifying. 3 years ago, Bitcoin was about 10,000. And so if we look at the 3-year chart from August 10th of 2020 to today, Bitcoin's up 145%. The S&P is up 37%.
Crazy.
The S&P is the cost of capital. Gold is down 3%. Bonds are down 18%. MicroStrategy is up 254%. And our enterprise value has increased by a factor of 10 by $8 billion or something. So we're glad we adopted Bitcoin. We would say that Bitcoin is returning 4x the cost of capital. And if you're not getting 37% gain in those 3 years via the S&P, then you're not keeping up with the cost of capital.
That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So like Michael Saylor is super, I guess, educated in the Bitcoin space. So yeah, if you can find any interviews and stuff, if you go to my Misfit Mining YouTube channel, I have some like podcast clips that might be good for you to listen to, Mr. Sun God. But yeah, it's one of those things, man. I think Bitcoin's going to do really well. And the way Bitcoin works is it's kind of, so it's the only thing technically that's a commodity instead of a security, right? That the SEC is claiming around the space right now. So I don't know. Bitcoin's like gold. Most people aren't going to sell it. They're going to want to hold it as much as they can, or, wait till it rises up pretty high, sell it, buy back in when it gets a little bit lower. But yeah, that's pretty much how Bitcoin's going to work. People are going to sell like altcoins and all this other stuff. Sorry, altcoins, if you didn't understand that term. It's ALT. Let's see. Yeti. Let's see. You want some help with that Dynex rig? No, I should be good. I just got to get it set up. No, I just want Sumi to answer me. I asked him a question yesterday, so tell him to get back to me if he could. That'd be amazing. The pirate said, I sent in my question. No more spam from my side, at least for a while, I promise. Oh yeah, so apparently my wife wants to do the podcast thing again tomorrow, so we're gonna see. It's just the last couple weeks have been absolutely brutal, so hopefully she'll be able to join us and we will just sit down and have a talk. And apparently I'm grilling her tomorrow, so she wanted you guys to submit questions, so just DM me in Discord if you guys have any questions. You want me to ask something, just keep it appropriate, please. That's all I ask. All right, this is massive for Bitcoin and crypto. This is Altcoin Daily. Again, I have a link to all this stuff down in the description below. Feel free to go check it out. Without further ado, let's get into it. Feel free to ask questions.
The odds of spot ETF being approved were 1% 6 months ago. Then they went to 50%, and this morning they were 65%.
Major news in crypto today involving WorldCoin, the Litecoin Halving, OpenSea, Curve Finance, but very quickly, Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy just returned to profit and now owns $4.4 billion worth of Bitcoin.
MicroStrategy, the largest publicly traded holder of Bitcoin, returning to profitability. This after taking an impairment charge of nearly $1 billion last year. EPS exceeded estimates but missed revenue expectations, adding more Bitcoin to its balance sheet.
And this is coming off the recent announcement from Michael Saylor that in July, MicroStrategy acquired an additional 467 BTC, and in a new CNBC interview today, Michael Saylor addresses why Bitcoin is going up.
So in terms of...
Real quick, $4.4 billion in Bitcoin, so they must own 151,000 Bitcoin. That's insane.
Of this rally we have seen in Bitcoin, what do you attribute it to, especially on a day where we've seen other folks who are invested in the asset class say soft landing is really what the rally is contingent upon? I
know we just saw this, but he elaborates a little bit on it.
Well, really, there's a growing consensus that Bitcoin is a unique and valuable international asset, and that's being endorsed by politicians. It's being endorsed by regulators. It's being endorsed by investors. You're hearing money managers like Larry Fink say this. And that has created a change in sentiment. You know, the odds of spot ETF being approved were 1% 6 months ago. Then they went to 50%, and this morning they were 65%, according to Bloomberg analysts.
So a Bitcoin spot ETF is more of a certainty now than ever. And I loved this follow-up question from the news anchor.
Would a spot Bitcoin ETF be good news because it's a tide that lifts all boats in terms of the price of Bitcoin and thus the price of MicroStrategy shares?
Yes.
Or is it something that could actually dent your investor base, as you see some folks that are invested in MicroStrategy specifically to have a liquid option in Bitcoin shift there?
Well, I think a spot ETF is great news for the space. Bitcoin, you could think of as this beautiful house in a scary neighborhood that you have to pay for in cash, takes a year to buy, and you can never rent it. The spot ETF is like that same beautiful house in a nice neighborhood, and you can buy it tomorrow, no money down, and you can rent it and refinance it from your bank. It's not a threat to MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is like that beautiful house with 10,000 acres of ranch land behind it that generates cash flow, that has a management team that can borrow money at 1-2% interest in order to develop the land. So we offer yield and we offer leverage through active management, which is unique for a set of our investors. We obviously don't have room in our capital structure for tens of billions of dollars of sovereign wealth or major hedge funds, so they need a spot ETF in order to take a position in the space.
Now, probably the biggest news and something many of you have been asking me about is WorldCoin. But very quickly, the Litecoin halving has been completed, meaning the block reward is again cut in half. And because Bitcoin's halving is happening next year, let's look historically and talk about what Litecoin is going to do next. Based on every other LTC halving, we can see Litecoin either drops down drastically, then consolidates, goes sideways, or also over time, over the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, several months, Litecoin dips post-halving, in part because often there was a rally into each halving. And thus far, history is rhyming a little bit. We did see a rally of Litecoin into this halving.
Real quick, with that, right? So the halving, like Bitcoin halving is like typically right here, right? So it's it's gonna rise with the price of Bitcoin. When Bitcoin halves, it's gonna be what is it, Q2 or Q1 of next year, 2024. So it's going to happen, and it's probably gonna ride up with that. But I hope it breaks its all-time high. That would be very unfortunate if Litecoin did not do that.
History is rhyming a little bit. We did see a rally of Litecoin into this halving. As per post-halving tendencies, here's what to expect in the coming months. LTC may experience a deep retracement, and historically, LTC has retraced from negative 73% post-halving. Now, checking in on other coins. Again, you subscribe to Altcoin Daily for a daily breakdown, keeping you informed. The #1 NFT marketplace is making news. As of today, OpenSea allows you to list items with 0 royalties. That means projects can now earn nothing from the products they put out.
Wait,
but don't worry, OpenSea still gets to make some money. So this is something that has changed. Creator earnings, you can now put 0. Now, some people do say this has been out for a while, I believe, but still a shame. And for me, this means we need competition against OpenSea, because with competition, more competition in the marketplace, consumers benefit. Now, an update on sponsor of the channel.
Oh, God. This XCAD bullshit. Please don't fall for that crap.
Check it out. Major news for WorldCoin. WorldCoin suspended in Kenya as thousands queue up for free money. So as a reminder, WorldCoin was founded by US tech entrepreneur Sam Altman, and in exchange for your data, WorldCoin gives people digital coins in exchange for a scan of their eyeballs. The news today is this: while thousands of Kenyans have been queuing up at registration centers this week to get around $49 worth of WorldCoin,
so they're giving away free WorldCoin to have them scan their eyes?
Kenya has warned citizens to be cautious giving their data to private companies. And in a statement from the Communications Authority of Kenya, they said they had concerns about how the biometric data was stored, offering money in exchange for data, and then having so much data in the hands of private companies.
Yeah, see, that's messed up. So it's kind of like, that's equivalent to them giving you guys like the COVID shot and more or less incentivizing you. Like states would give you free shit. What state was it? It was like, I don't even know. It's the state down south. They're like giving away freaking shotguns and like all this other bullshit to go get a freaking COVID shot. Like it was ridiculous. So that's what they're doing here. They're incentivizing you to go get your eye scanned, which probably contributes to the every 8 seconds somebody's eye is getting scanned with this WorldCoin thing. It's so crazy.
So they've officially
Crazy.
launched an investigation against WorldCoin, and the launch of
Oh, wow.
WorldCoin in general sparks a debate over data privacy and the future of AI.
What
That's
I'd
funny.
say about
I actually pulled up that article right here. Where is it? Yeah, this one. I pulled that up right before the stream. It's like an 8-minute article, I guess.
AI is devaluing assets that are created with pure information or white collar type straightforward labor. And AI is going to accrete value to assets that are energy rich. You know, that acre of beachfront property in Palm Beach that an AI can't create, Bitcoin AI can't create. And ultimately, Bitcoin is the solution to a lot of problems AI creates. And if I was looking at the AI revolution, I would think, how do I buy scarce, desirable assets that the computer can't spin out of thin air? And if you own those, then you're going to be good, because the stuff that the AI creates in a split second, that's going to get devalued.
Now, many of you have been asking me for an update on this Curve issue. On July 30th, Curve Finance, a decentralized exchange on Ethereum, suffered a hack due to a vulnerability in certain pools built using the Viper programming language. So after this hack happened, the next day, the decline in the token, CRV, continued to a 7-month low of around 48 cents, amid fears of liquidation of hefty loans worth over $100 million taken by the Curve Finance founder against the native token as collateral. So there was a lot of fear in the air. However, as of today, positive developments such as partial repayment of loans and significant negative bets in the derivatives market suggest that CRV, the token, may rally in the short term. So things are starting to look better. Jury is still out on how this will unfold for Curve Finance. I'll keep you updated. Anybody in the Amsterdam area in October, be sure to join us at Bitcoin Conference Amsterdam, October 12th and 13th. Aaron and I will be there. Come hang out with us and use code ALTCOINDAILY, link down below, ALTCOINDAILY for
Little shameless plug. All right, real quick. This is what you're talking about. Do I have one of these? Did I have one of these? No, but every kid in the 90s did have one of these for whatever reason. You never knew why. You probably never even actually watched basketball, but you owned this jacket right here. This one. I remember my sisters or their friends at least had this one, but no, I did not own any personally. Actually, I think I might have seen this one too. And that one got really dirty. I remember that. That's hysterical though. Such a random question, Patrick Murphy. Such a random ass question. Just saying. All right. So let me see. What did I want to watch this one. Hold on one second. Let me share this over here. We can see what this is. So this was yesterday actually. Nope, that's not the one. The hell is happening? All right. Pause for a second, because this will not forward. All right, so this one's crypto bills are a huge step towards U.S. regulatory clarity, says Crypto Council's Sheila Warren. This is like a 7-minute video, so it's probably gonna be the last one we're gonna end on. But obviously we can chat a little at the end. I think I'm gonna open up Mr. Fully Electric's proof of useful work motherboard that he sent me. So huge shout out to you, Mr. Fully Electric. You're awesome. I'm gonna open that up in a little bit. I'll go grab it during this. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Let's see what this is about, because I haven't watched it yet.
We just watched some historic movement for crypto legislation on Capitol Hill. Let's talk about the two bills that made it through committee first. You have the FIT 21 Act, which sort of focuses on registration of crypto assets with the CFTC and SEC. There's also the Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act, which sort of addresses how miners are considered money transmitters. Is this really the clarity that people have been asking for?
Well, I think this is a huge step towards regulatory clarity here in the United States. I've spoken quite a bit about how while the rest of the world is kind of seeing a crypto spring a little bit come back, we're kind of stuck in permafrost here in the United States. And this reflects, I think, a definite thawing. Now, the critical thing, I think, to note is that these were bipartisan backed bills, and that's really important. Does it bode well for what happens next, both a House floor vote and a Senate vote? we'll have to see. But it's really important to note that this wasn't just Republican-backed work. And that was something that I think a lot of critics of crypto were saying. This is a super partisan issue. That's just proven to not be the case. In terms of addressing regulatory clarity, look, there's a lot of work to do, but these lay a really good foundation for future work and future discussions. And the fact that these both got through is a historic moment. There's no question about that here in the United States.
Yeah, I do want to ask about how they sort of stack up in comparison to all of the movement we've seen around the world. I mean, you have MiCA, which is sort of considered the gold standard for how we're moving forward with regulatory clarity around the world. You have movement in the Middle East and in Hong Kong. How does this legislation, how do these pair of bills stack up in comparison to the movement we've been seeing around the world?
Well, they're not comprehensive the way that MiCA really is in Europe. And MiCA was a multi-year effort to bring together very diverse coalitions, different countries. The process there is if we think our process is tough, I mean, let me tell you. So the fact that that got done before anything moved in the United States is extremely telling in terms of the tenor, the tone towards this industry and the opportunity and how it's perceived. That being said, we have a different political system here. We have different priorities in this country, right? And so I do think that this set of bills really does focus on some of the critical issues that we've been dealing with here, namely, who has jurisdiction over the assets? How do we define the assets? What are we even talking about here in the first place, right? So those are kinds of fundamental questions I think these bills do address. There are always tweaks and changes and things are going to move significantly as these carry forward. Regardless, I think it's kind of comparing apples and oranges, right? What MiCA was trying to do at a different time was broader, bigger, and kind of dispositively final. This is a step and a piece towards a bigger movement, I think, that we're seeing from Congress.
Yeah, you mentioned the bipartisanship in these bills. There is one area of contention still, I think that's very present this week, and that was with the stablecoin bill that stalled out in the House Financial Services Committee. There was a lot of debate over the bill. The chair of the committee, Patrick McHenry, sort of blamed the Biden administration for holding up that bill. What's driving the divide there? What are some of the pain points for getting stablecoin legislation across?
Yeah, so that one I think is tough. It's a shame. They were so close from everything we hear to really coming to an agreement on these things, and it was kind of a last minute change of direction. I think there are a couple issues that have been sticky for a while. One is the balance between the states and the federal regime. So how does a state regime around rules here actually play into this? And many of the Democrats are very supportive of the state regime here and want to see that continue to have a lot of power and voice. And that is a broader question, right? That reflects kind of the general partisan divide on those questions in some ways, in terms of how we want to see these things play out ultimately over time. I think that there's also some engagement from the White House. We heard from the news that came kind of in the last minute. And the idea that they were concerned about this, I think that is primarily about how a payment stablecoin would play against or on the backdrop of a central bank digital currency. I think there's also some desire to see FedNow, which launched very recently, have a little more time to percolate. In my view, those things are just unrelated. They really have nothing to do with payment stablecoins and specifically what this bill is trying to do. However, I think optically and in terms of the messaging, some of that stuff I think got all jammed up together. Now we'll see what happens next. We're very, very close to kind of taking a summer recess. And so when we get back, there'll be renewed vigor on some of these topics, a lot of these topics, including, I think, renewed views and looks from the Senate. So we're going to have to see how this all plays out. But yeah, that was one that I think a lot of folks found disappointing, and not just folks in the crypto industry.
I can't let you go without asking about the SEC and its crackdown this year. We got the ruling in the Ripple case, which the Crypto Council actually filed an amicus brief in support of Ripple. What was your reaction to that ruling? What it means for the industry? I mean, it's not really a clear decision as to XRP's status as a security, but I mean, it did sort of take the wind out of the SEC sails.
I thought it was actually a quite nuanced and thoughtful order, and reflected that Judge Torres had done quite a bit of education herself and understanding the differences here. Quite sophisticated in my view. I think there's, again, a long process. We have to see how this all plays out, what appeals may be filed once the whole thing is finished, what Ripple decides to do, what the SEC decides to do. Does anyone
really care, to be honest, this whole Ripple thing? I mean, if they go ahead and what's it called? Appeal it, then this whole thing's gonna start over. So sorry. If you guys want to continue to listen to that, I can continue to have it on, but I want to open this. I want to see what the hell this is. Fully Electric. My man, appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for being here. I'm going to open up this right now. I want to see what it is. So it's the proof of useful work motherboard. This thing's sick. I'll show it in a video at some point too, but I've been like dying to open it. Been dying to open this thing. All right, let's see what we got. Hold on. Like trying not to cut the box. X99. What is this? This thing's sick too. The X99. Pursuit of extreme performance. This is a dual CPU motherboard, I think. Interesting. The box in a box. You trolling me right now? Is it gonna be one of them nesting dolls? Is that what's gonna happen, Mr. Fully Electric? And hey, you're a mod. If you want, you can put a link to this thing in the chat if you would like. Oh damn! All right, so it comes with all this stuff, dude. You really didn't have to put CPUs in this thing. You're insane. I thought this was legit sealed. You straight up put CPUs in this thing. You are crazy, sir. Thank you so much. Jesus. All right, look at this. Oh man, this thing's sick. Holy shit. 16 lane slots right there. Dual CPUs. What? I have a slight erection right now. Thanks. I'm trying to see what the CPUs are. Hold on. Intel Xeon. I'm gonna see if you guys can, like, I don't know if the camera will zoom in on it, but we can try. We can try that, Cal. Hold on. Maybe. Ah, there we go. How's that? You guys can see what's in it? Ooh, dude, this thing is sick. The Chump Chub came with Smokey Dan. Dude, this thing's amazing. Look at this. Look how many slots of RAM it's got. So it's got 8 slots for RAM. It's got 4 16 lane slots. It's got 2 M.2 slots. Jeez, this thing's sick. This is amazing. This is amazing. This is the back of it. If anybody would like to see. Mr. Fully Electric. Oh, all right. Let's see. Is that Patrick Murphy? Did you just find it? Let me see what this is. Hold on. Oh, you did find it. Patrick, dude. Patrick Murphy is like a freaking wizard. No joke. What is happening? I can't get this. Hold on. Hold on, fellas. Hold on. This is not working. This is not working properly. Hold the phone. Hold on. This is what I need to do, and then back out of this. Sorry, bear with me, fellas. Bear with me, and I'll show this on screen. All right. Here is the... Oh, never mind, you can't even see it anyways. Where are we at? This. There we go. This is it. The X99. Dual CPU motherboards, LGA 2011 V3 computer server. Intel i7 5th, 6th gen. Dude, this is sick. This thing's sick. $200. And I think he got these for a sick deal. Let's see. So it says provide 24 plus 8 plus 8 pin standard supply interface. Need to use the power supply is dedicated to the server. The power supply is stable. The board body is made of 12-layer PCB material, and the signal can be transmitted quickly. Interesting. Dude, this thing's sick. Hold on, let's see the specs. All right, so it has the X99 motherboard is equipped with multiple expansion interfaces to ensure that the motherboard has more room for improvement. Include 4 USB 3.0 ports, 4 2.0 ports, 10 SATA 3.0 ports, 4 3-pin SYS system fans. It says 2 4-pin CPU fans besides dual network ports to allow your computer to do more things. Let's see. Does it say it has 4 16-lane slots anywhere? Does it? Or is it just me? Let me go down to the specs on this thing. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. I'm just ignoring you. I apologize. 136 on eBay. 126 if you buy 3 or more. Yeah, fully electric probably bought a shit ton of these things. These things are sick. That's sick. I'm going to add these to my Amazon store. I'll throw them in there just so you guys can find them easily. Dude, this is cool though. Fully electric, man. Dude, I can't thank you more. Like, I honestly can't thank you enough. It's crazy. You're insane. I appreciate it a lot. Dude, crazy. But this thing's so sick. Like, this is the coolest motherboard I've ever seen in my life. I'm not even kidding. Like, this thing looks so sick. Oh my god. Like, look at it. It's amazing. That's amazing. So now this is, yeah, so these holders right here are just to hold the plate on the back side. You just gotta get the right cooler for it. Cool the CPUs. Damn, these are sick. Thoughts on building a proof of useful work rig with multiple power supplies? Let me see, hold on. Let me full screen this. Get rid of this. All right, let's see. With multiple power supplies feels unsafe to me since X16 risers almost never have a way to externally power them. Meathead, I mean, I think you'd be fine with multiple power supplies. But technically, like, you only need multiple power supplies if you're going to be pulling over, you know, the 80% of whatever you're running on this board. So say you have like, just for shits, it would never fit, but like, say I had, you know, 4 3090s on this thing, that'd be like, what's the max on those? Like 350 watts or something. So, you know, be like 1400 watts total. Like, the odds of you using that though, pretty slim. I honestly think 3 of them you'd get away with a 1200 watt power supply, or maybe a little more, 1600 watt, something like that. You should be fine. To be honest, with one. But again, there's going to be a lot of power going through this board if these are all feeding the cards, you know, without well, you're going to have the card power too, but these are going to be pulling, you know, the 70 watts each. So I mean, you'd be fine. Why just use one power supply? I mean, I've done this. People don't like to do this, but I've used power supply to power the cards and the board separately with a different power supply, but it's kind of frowned upon. It is what it is. I've done it. It works fine. I've never had any issues, but when it comes to proof of useful work, we don't know anything. So like, we don't know the benchmarks. We don't know, well, we don't know what things look like when things are running full bore, right? But I tell you what, this thing is absolutely insane, and I can't wait to set it up. Man, this thing's like, this is the coolest motherboard I've ever seen. What is that for? Remove seal after washing. What? Why is that there? What the hell? This little sticker right here says remove seal after washing. Best I could do. Best I could do. No idea why it says that. Not a clue. That's hysterical. I feel like I've seen that before, but I don't remember what it is. Just like a capacitor. Strange. Oh, what? That's the built-in speaker. That's a speaker? What the hell? It's like one of the mini PCs. It's got a speaker built into it. That's amazing. Yeah, so it's just got a little hole. Next to the battery, just a little hole. That's hysterical. I don't know why I'd wash this, but I don't think I have to. Fully electric. Do I have to throw this thing in the dishwasher or what? I'm kidding. I'm joking. Dude, this is amazing. This is so cool. Fully electric. You're awesome. I can't wait to make a video with this thing. And now I got to build a stand for this. 3D print a stand for this thing. Oh, and I actually made, you know what? Hold on. Give me a second. Bear with me. All right. So, hold on. Hold the phone. Trying to get situated. Yeah, it's all right. It's a. Oh boy. Yes, honey. For what? So go. All right, secrets out. So, this is like the start of a project that I've been messing with. This little well, not really a project, but you know how like the GPU's like hanging not good. So I made this little proof of work like GPU holder thing, right? But I'm thinking make this a flat motherboard stand so you can lay the board down, and then it's just more secure having it mounted to the front there. You know what I mean? What do you guys think of that? Doing something like that. I have the fans off of this GPU, but just in general. I mean, it's cool because this thing, like, I could sit it on the table and it'll hold the GPU fine. But it still makes me a bit nervous with that angle, right? But I don't know. I just test printed this to see if it would work. And I do have a brand new machine that I can print carbon fiber nylon now. So I could make this super strong if I wanted to. But I don't know. Can you guys, like, hold on. Trying to find something to like stand this on. Ooh, fully electric meter boxes that I need to send out. So that's how it would stand, right? Let me get rid of this scrolling thing on the bottom because I want to show you guys. So it stands like that on the table, right? And that's how it would mount. It would just hold the GPUs. That's what I've been messing with. But I think I'm gonna make it so it's flat and a flat stand for the big board over there. I think that'd be cool. Yeah, flat for multiple GPUs. Yeah, 100%. This card is a 3070. This is a 3070 LHR, actually. One of them KOs. This is actually the wife's. This is one of the GPUs I bought for the wife. It's an ASUS. But yeah, so this thing's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. So I gotta design something for that bigger board because it's pretty sick. The angle's a bit much. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So like, see the CPU mining, these stands are perfect, but when it comes to GPU, it's like I'll hold it as flat as I can, right? It's flat with the screen, right? So it's gonna it has a decent angle on it. So I mean, the center of gravity would be fine because it does hold fine, but it's just makes me feel uncomfortable a bit. So I think I'm going to design this to work with a flat CPU stand type deal. So I gotta modify that today. That's my plan. I'm gonna do that, and I gotta do the cell phone brackets today as well. The edition add-on stand looks more than 45. Yeah, probably. Yeah, a little bit more than 45. It's close. It's real close. Probably about 60. Yeah, it honestly is probably about a 60-degree angle, but it works perfect for, like I said, CPU miners. It's kind of scary with just the GPUs. I mean, even though you can see it, I mean, it holds fine. It's not like it tips anyway. It can't. It really can't. Like I could push it forward. It's not gonna go, you know. So it's fine. It's just, I don't know. I'm still messing with it. But this, I can't get over this. This thing's probably the coolest thing I've ever seen. This really is the coolest motherboard I've ever seen. So, X99. Fully electric. You're awesome. Thank you again, buddy. Jeez. All right. What else you guys got? Yeah, 4 GPUs. The center of gravity starts to move around a bit. Well, so what it does is it gets higher, Patrick. So when it gets higher, it goes further back. You know what I mean? It staggers back. So like heaviest GPU you'd want to put on the bottom. You know what I mean? Like the first slot and then gradually go up. Let's see. Config the GPUs are on bottom, less tippy. Yes, you could do that too. The only reason with that is, the only issue with that is the heat rises. So it would be getting caught by the CPU and shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. Whatever. Get it. This thing's sick. I'm so excited about this. I can't wait to use it. All right, so fully electric. I need you to tell me what coolers I should get. What coolers do you have? You just have normal coolers, regular ones. I assume I can get some, but imagine having like two. Hold on. Actually, I think I have some. Would this fit? These are AMD, right? Oh, throwing shit everywhere. All right, sorry. I know it's supposed to be a news thing, but we're playing games today. Well, not playing games, but messing with things. Oh, look, it's brand new. Shit, I've never even touched this one. I didn't even know I never took this one out of the box. Imagine if I put two Wrath coolers like that. Oh, that'd be dope. Add them like this. Oh man, I got shit everywhere now. This box rips, I'm screwed. If I had two of them, that would be sick. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. I put the chat down by accident. Let me see what you're saying. Are they Intel? God damn it. They look like friggin' AMD CPUs though, to be honest. They really do. They just look massive. You know what? I've never owned a Xeon, so I don't know. Yeah, it is Intel. God damn it. Well, whatever. I have AMD coolers, so I have to get some. Dude, these AMD coolers are so much cooler than Intel though. They're so much cooler. God damn it. Imagine if I could make that work. You know I'm a crazy son of a bitch. I would try. I don't see why it wouldn't work. It would just have to mount properly, to be honest. Now I'm dropping shit. I'm just gonna throw this out now. No, I'm kidding. Shit everywhere. God damn it. That's because they are server class CPUs. Okay, so now, all right, so if they're server class CPUs, yeah, I've never seen CPUs that size that aren't AMD. So would an AMD cooler fit on it? If you could retro the bracket to, I don't see why it wouldn't work, right? Technically it should, I think, right? I made a mess. I made a mess, guys. God damn it. I'm trying not to get this thermal paste all wiped off, even though I wipe it off anyways. There we go. Oh, dropping shit everywhere. I can make anything go for it. All right. You know what? I might try to make this work. I could because it looks like it fits perfectly, and I think it would look sick. Even though it's not AMD, it would look sick. Jump got a new toy. He's going extra crazy, bro. I'm gonna go nuts getting this thing to work. That's so cool. I can't wait. I cannot wait. But unfortunately, we have to wait like a freaking half a year for any type of proof of useful work bullshit to come out. So yay for the delay. Not totally kidding. Sucks. I wish it would come faster, but there's nothing we can do about it, obviously. It's just is what it is what it is. All right, I gotta get to daddy duty. What time is it? Goddamn, it's getting late. I DM'd you a pic of my test setup. All right, let's do that. Let's look at that quick and then we'll go, and then we'll jet. Dude, this X99 board though, it's so cool looking. So cool. At least hold on, Discord open. At least it gives us some time to get hardware lined up. Yeah, Scott, for sure. See, the only issue is like the fact that it ooh, look at this. Oh, I like this. The fact that like there's nothing available. That's the there's really nothing to go off of, I guess. All right, here we go. That's fully electric setup. Look at that. That's sick, dude. It looks so cool. That's so cool. All right, so you got, actually, that's a good question. So this is just the, is this actual server style RAM, or is this just the uncased bullshit? So like, can I use like the RAM I have kicking around in my old mining boards? Like, should I use that, or should I get different RAM? Mr. Fully Electric. This looks cool as hell though. I like these Intel CPU coolers. I've never seen these style at all. It's actually branded Intel. Very, very neat. Damn, I would love to put these Wrath Prisms on there though. They look so cool. They look so cool. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let me get up the other picture. Let me see. Oh, goddamn. What the hell? You did two? That's cool. That's cool too. Holy shit. That's insane. I think I have one of these actually somewhere. You know what? I think I have two of these. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go looking now. I think I have one or two of these somewhere. Not the same style, but close. Similar to it. That's cool. I did that one yesterday. Dude, this looks cool as hell. That is so freaking cool. I like the look of this one better, I think. But cooling wise, like if you're CPU mining, oh yeah. This is the way to go, probably. I mean, either way, they should be able to handle it. I mean, it's not that much wattage, to be honest, but damn, that's wild. What size PSU do you have on this? Doesn't say. I can't see it. So cool though. This board is sick. That deep cool. Little Time Mining said, I have no idea. What, this? Couldn't even tell you. EVGA 1000. Okay. And now Fully Electric, will you be powering the GPUs with a separate PSU, or are you going to try to put them all on the same? Let's see. DDR4. Let me see. What did he say? DDR4 chan. The memory slot LGA 2011, 4 channels, which can install 8 memory. It supports effective frequencies of 2133, 2400, 2666, and 3200 megahertz, overclockable, and the maximum capacity of 256 gigabytes. That's crazy. That's a lot for a motherboard. Dude, this thing's so cool. So sick. Wouldn't a single CPU X99 board work? Why the need for 2 CPUs? So, if I'm not mistaken, it has to do with the lanes. I think it has to do with the CPU lanes. Or the X16, I think needs to have 2 CPUs to be able to feed, 16 to 2 slots, if that makes sense. More lanes, more better. Perfect. Perfect. Exactly. It's exactly what I meant to say. All right, CCXD going to try to use EVGA 1200 with 4 A4000s. Wish me luck, dude. I need more A4000s. Now that I got this board, I have one. It'd be so sick to have 4 of them on there. Oh my god. All right. CCXD is correct. It's for full 16X lanes or X16 lanes. Yes, correct. All right, fellas. I love you all. Unfortunately, I gotta go. My kid I can hear her screaming up there, so she wants me. So hopefully you guys have a good day. Happy Thursday. Enjoy your day. One more day till payday, and I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. I'm gonna put out some shorts, and I'll try to be messing around with this thing today, so stay tuned for a video on it as soon as I can. I'll be in touch with you, Mr. Fully Electric. Have a good day, and peace out.